it's a conscious decision that one makes. It is by identifying who you are, who do you tell, and how you tell them. And these things happen in stages. You don't just wake up one morning and say, right, I'm going to come out today. You feel comfortable with people, you feel comfortable with friends, you feel comfortable with the family, so you take steps, and then little steps become big steps. And people come out at their own pace for their own reasons. Over a period that sort of works for them. I think most important thing is to be as honest as you can. Families have an inordinate capacity of understanding and being careful. My father took it rather badly. My mother, her view was, who's going to look after you in your old age? Which is a pragmatic, practical question. And the fact that Mike and I have been to India several times together has reassured her and the family that we are still together and nothing has changed. But each individual and each family have to recognize in their own ways. And I understand that in Italy family ties are very important, just like India and in Ireland. And inevitably it is that the person coming out has to decide when he or she tells the family who they tell. And there's plenty of research evidence which suggests that people generally tend to come out to friends first and then the family, whereas in some cases people would rather be open and come to the family first than go on to tell their friends and colleagues and peers. I think one of the major advantages in psychiatry is that most people couldn't care less. And I don't think there was a major issue. My bosses knew, and they had met my partner at social function and social events, and it was never a major issue. One of the challenges, particularly for psychiatry, is how open one is with one's patients. And I think that's a difficult one because I would not tell my patients, because sometimes patients have these delusions that they are becoming homosexual and therefore it creates problems. On the other hand, for HIV/AIDS psychiatry, I know several gay psychiatrists who work in the field who are quite open about it, who run seminars, who run charitable events, and that works for them. I think, again, it really depends upon how honest one wants to feel. It may be that in certain specialities it's easy, for example, in psychiatry, but it may be much more difficult in other specialities like surgery. So it's a decision that individual has to make at the speed with which they feel comfortable. I think certainly there is something to be said for having a support network which can meet on occasion, social events. I recall in 1980 going to one of the early meetings of an organization in London, Gay Medical Association. And there were only 5 of us there, and then gradually it grew up to have about 300, and then it transmogrified into Lesbian Gay Medical Association. Then it changed into Gay Lesbian Association for Doctors and Dentists, and it provided 2 functions. One is a social one, that where you meet people who are in the same situation. You can understand the experience, you can share those experiences, but also sometimes senior consultants and senior doctors can mentor the younger ones who are coming out, who may be struggling at work or in their personal lives. And the second function of such an association is about political change, because as a body you can then respond to comments, respond to media, respond to political legal changes. Again, in terms of patient coming out to the doctors, doctors need to know whether the doctor comes out to the patient. It depends upon two things. One is that doctor may feel that by coming out they can demonstrate more empathy, they can demonstrate that they care and it's not a problem. But equally importantly, doctors may feel that somehow by coming out they're losing their professional boundary. My own view is that in certain situations it is helpful, whereas in others it may not be. But equally, it's like ethnic matching, whether doctors from one cultural ethnic background should see patients from that cultural ethnic background only. At one level, it is understandable that you can understand the cultural values and views, but on another, patient may feel more scared because they may want to keep that identity separate. And one of the major issues that we need to think about in this whole concept is concept of micro-identities. And our micro-identities are influenced by gender, by sexual orientation, by religion, by any number of other factors, and some of which can be hidden. So sexual orientation can be hidden, whereas gender may become more important, or migrant status may become more important, or ethnic status becomes more important than sexual orientation. And in some settings, sexual orientation is more important. So the challenge really depends on the clinical setting, and it depends upon how individuals, patients and doctors expect from that clinical therapeutic relationship.